Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Jar of Marble dwellers and Jar of Marble curious. My name is Linda and this is Jar of Marbles. Hello, and I'm Bob. It's good to see you, Bob. But isn't it? It's always so good to see you. This week, I'd like to talk a little bit about the 4 types of people who don't hear no the first time. Some people don't hear no as a boundary. They hear it as the start of a negotiation. Oh, that's so true. Yes, and while it can show up in subtle ways, the pattern is usually consistent. Here are 4 common types of people who struggle to accept no the first time. When I say that I'm going to bed, what I actually mean is I'm going to lay down and send my bestie 153 reels while laughing uncontrollably. Sounds kind of familiar. Do that with my daughters. So, type 1, the pusher. The pusher treats your no like it's temporary. Temporary? Yeah, they'll keep asking, rephrasing or applying pressure until you give in. Damn, it's not always aggressive. Sometimes it sounds like persistence. Or enthusiasm? Yeah, but underneath it is a refusal to respect your decision. Oh, yeah. You might hear things like, come on, just this once, or are you sure? It'll be quick. The goal isn't to understand your boundary. It's to wear it down. Yeah, that's right. That's exactly what they do, the old pusher. Then introducing, type 2, the guilt tripper. This type doesn't push directly. They pull emotionally. Instead of arguing with your no, they make you feel bad about it. I'd be a terrible superhero. I'd see the signal calling in the sky from home and I'd be like, I literally just sat down. Yeah, well, you'd need a bit of determination and commitment there. Yeah, no, I don't have it. They might remind you of what they've done for you, imply disappointment or act hurt. I guess I'll just do it alone then, or, wow, I didn't think you'd say no to me. By the time my father was my age, he had amassed like 30 coffee cans full of screws. I have none. What have I done with my life? You'll get there, Bob. Yeah. So the guilt is the tool. Old age is a thing. Last night I was in bed for 20 minutes when I heard the pizza guy cough. Then I remembered I came to the room to get my wallet. Yeah. Hashtag 4 types of people who don't hear no the first time. So if they can make your boundary feel selfish, they hope you'll reverse it yourself. Yeah, do not do it. If I ever go missing, here's a tip. You do not need to check the hiking trails. We know this about you. Yeah, I'm just making sure. Yeah. Then there's type 3, the victim flipper. The victim flipper. Here we go. Well, the victim flipper takes your no and somehow turns it into something you've done to them. Oh, the old flipperoo trick. Yeah, tell me more. Suddenly, your boundary becomes their hardship. They might act like they're being mistreated, excluded, or unfairly targeted. Why are you always like this with me? Or, I can't believe you'd put me in this position. The focus shifts from your right to say no to their supposed suffering. Look, I might be mean, but I have a good heart. Like when I tell someone to go to hell, I still hope that they will arrive there safely. So, I don't think I like the victim flipper much. No, that sounds a bit off. Yeah, well, the victim flipper never argues with your boundary directly. They do something more confusing. They turn your boundary into evidence that you hurt them. Let me at them. You say no. Suddenly they're wounded. Diddums. You ask for accountability. Now they're the one being attacked. You try to explain your feelings. Somehow you end up comforting them instead. That's the flip. How bloody tedious. Look, I don't know who needs to hear this, but you can repark your car if you didn't get right the first time. Yeah, you can. Yeah. It can sound subtle. Like? Well, I guess I'm just a terrible person then. Spare me. After everything I do for you, this is what I get. Yeah, that's what you get. Oh, they really suck, don't they? You really think that little of me? Yeah, I do, dum-dum. Okay. I can't believe you'd accuse me of that. You know I'm sensitive to rejection. Notice what happens. The original issue disappears. Yeah, so true.
70 and 80-year-old people are generally considered unemployable due to physical and mental decline, apparently, yet we allow them to run entire countries. The irony!
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah, I know.
So your discomfort, your limit, your hurt, all pushed out of the frame.
Out of the frame.
Now the emotional spotlight is on their pain, their offence, their disappointment. And if you're empathetic, you immediately feel pressure to fix it. Hashtag 4 types of people who don't hear no the first time. That's why the victim flipper is so disorienting. You walk into the conversation trying to protect yourself and walk out apologising for having needs at all.
I used to see the sunrise because I stayed out all night, but now I see the sunrise because I have to pee.
Righto.
Yeah.
Now, the strategy works because most decent people don't want to feel cruel. So when someone reacts to a boundary like it's a betrayal, you instinctively soften. You explain more, backtrack, reword, over-justify.
Oh, it's just the worst.
Meanwhile, the actual point never gets addressed.
Right.
A healthy person may feel disappointed by your boundary, but they still understand it belongs to you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, fair.
A victim flipper. All right, a victim flipper treats your boundary like an injury inflicted on them.
Good fathers.
And over time, that dynamic trains you to stay silent because every honest conversation becomes emotional clean-up duty.
Oh, right, yeah.
Every no becomes a courtroom where you're forced to defend your right to say it.
Hell.
The exhausting part is that the flip is really dramatic enough to clearly name. It just lives in guilt, in sighs, in withdrawal, and making you feel mean for being direct.
I hate it when older people say, you're too young to be tired. All right, Esme, you're too old to still be alive, but here we are.
Yeah, very good point.
I think so, yeah.
So eventually you start editing yourself before you even speak. That's the real damage, not the argument itself, but the way it teaches you to abandon your own reality in order to
keep the peace.
Yeah, a boundary is not an attack. Disagreement is not abuse. But someone feeling disappointed by your limit does not mean your limit is wrong. The victim flipper survives by confusing those things until you no longer trust your own right to say, no, that doesn't work for me.
So please, tell me how to get them back in their place.
Okay, so the moment they turn your boundary into your crime, the goal is to stay anchored to the original issue instead of defending yourself
emotionally.
Yeah, absolutely. Short, calm, repetitive.
Oh, yeah, okay. Give me the tea.
Well, you could say, hey, this isn't about attacking you. It's about what I said.
Yeah, good. Yeah, right.
Or, you're allowed to feel upset. My boundary still stands. See, there's the boundary. Sniff it in.
You could say,
well, I could say, I'm not discussing whether you're a good person or please stay on the actual issue.
What about you're turning this into your feelings? Don't erase mine.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Yes. See, I said a good one. I said a good thing there, yeah.
Or you don't have to agree with my boundary to respect it.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
Yeah. So the mistake people make is over-explaining. Victim flippers thrive on emotional expansion because it gives them more material to twist.
Boring! My level of sarcasm has gotten to the point where I don't even know if I'm kidding or not.
I actually believe you.
Yeah, I'm fair dinkum, yeah.
So, hashtag 4 types of people who don't hear no the first time. Then there's type 4, the minimizer.
Oh, the minimizer.
Yeah, the minimizer doesn't challenge your no head on. They shrink it.
Magician? Shrinking?
Yeah, they downplay your reasons, your feelings, or the importance of your boundary. It's not a big deal. You're overthinking it. Or it'll only take a second.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about, yeah.
By making your no seem unnecessary or exaggerated, then try to make it easier for you to abandon it.
The reason life works at all is because not everyone in your tribe is nuts on the same day.
I like that, luckily.
Yeah, that's right.
So at the core of all 4 types have something in common.
They do?
Yeah, they prioritise their wants over your boundaries.
Yeah, they do.
The tactics differ: pressure, guilt, reversal or dismissal. But the outcome they're aiming for is the same: getting you to change your answer.
God, fathers. I just got a paper cut opening a box of Pop-Tarts. There will be no more fancy breakfasts around here. That's it.
So recognising these patterns is useful because once you see them, you don't have to engage with them on their terms.
Yeah, always your terms.
Yeah, a clear no, repeated without explanation or apology, is often the most effective response, even if it's not the most comfortable one.
Hey, it turns out a ceiling fan will not cut a bagel in half, even on high speed. I also need a new window.
Well, okay then.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So the minimiser is often the hardest to spot because they don't look confrontational.
Oh, yeah.
They don't argue loudly. They don't guilt you outright. They just quietly erode the legitimacy of your no. What they're really doing is reframing your boundary as an overreaction.
Geez, I'm bored by them all.
Instead of pushing against your decision, they shrink it.
Oh, yeah, the shrinker, the diminisher, the lessening even.
Yeah, they'll say, hey, it's not a big deal. Oh, you're making this bigger than it needs to be. On the surface, it can sound reasonable, even calming. But that's exactly why it works. The minimiser positions themselves as the voice of logic and you as the one being dramatic, difficult,
or inflexible.
Yeah.
Minimise this, bucko.
Over time, this has a subtle psychological effect. You could stop trusting your own sense of what matters. You could start second guessing.
Am I overreacting?
Yeah. Is this actually a big deal? Should I just let this go?
Could you stop putting flyers on my car? I do not want to see a band called Parking Violation at the courthouse. Fair dinkum. Really?
So that's the opening they rely on. If they can get you to question your boundary, they don't have to fight it. You'll lower it all by yourself. Another thing the minimiser often does is strip away context. Your no might be based on time, energy, values, or past experience, but they reduce it to a single dismissible point. For example, you say no because you're overwhelmed, but they hear it's just one small task. You say no because of a principle, and they hear, well, it's just this once.
My son wanted to know what it was like to be a parent, so I woke him up at 2 a.m. to tell him that my sock came off. Yeah, my sock.
So they ignore the why and zoom in on how small they can make the request seem. What makes this pattern particularly tricky is that it can come disguised as positivity or pragmatism. They might genuinely believe they're helping you relax or not stress so much. Hashtag 4 types of people who don't hear no the first time. But intention doesn't change the impact. Your boundary is still being invalidated.
Hey, what kind of jerk makes an anti-anxiety pill difficult to break in half?
Such valid observations.
Yeah, I know.
The key difference between a healthy challenge and minimising is respect. A respectful person might ask, are you sure? I don't want to pressure you. And they'll accept your answer. A minimiser keeps going, subtly nudging you to reinterpret your own limits.
Slimy codgers.
Yeah, dealing with a minimiser isn't about arguing the size or importance of your boundary. That pulls you into their frame. The more you justify, the more material they have to shrink.
Please be patient with me. I'm from the 1900s.
I often think that these days.
Yeah.
So instead, it's more effective to anchor back to the boundary itself. It might seem small, but it matters to me. I hear you, but my answer is still no. I'm not available for that.
Yes, nice.
Short, steady, and not up for debate.
That's right between the chops.
Yeah, because the real issue isn't whether something is a big deal. The issue is whether your no is allowed to stand without being negotiated down. The victim flipper is a different kind of pressure. It doesn't try to shrink your boundary like the minimiser, and it doesn't push past it directly. Instead, it reverses the emotional direction of the situation.
Oh, I'm a bit confused now.
Well, you say no, and somehow they become the one who's been wronged.
Oh, yeah, right, okay, yeah.
At its core, the victim flipper turns your boundary into their injury. You might hear things like, I can't believe you do this to me.
Or why you always shut me out?
Yeah, I guess I just don't matter to you.
Oh, fair dinkum. Wow.
Wow, I wouldn't have said no if it were you. Notice what's happening there? The focus shifts away from your decision and onto their feelings, but in a way that frames you as the cause of harm. Your no isn't just a choice anymore, it's presented as a betrayal, rejection, or failure. That shift is the whole strategy.
Fair dinkum, I'm learning so much and I don't often say that.
Oh, I know. Can I thank you?
No, I'd rather you didn't. All right. You know, some people don't understand that sitting in your own house alone in peace, eating snacks and minding your own business is priceless.
Absolutely. I'm with you.
Yeah.
So another key trait of the victim flipper is exaggeration and generalisation. A single no becomes a pattern. You never support me. You're always like this.
Hey, wait till I get out my violin.
Or they escalate the stakes. This really shows what I mean to you.
I don't need an inspirational quote. I just sort of need garlic bread.
I'll grab you some after this episode.
Will you?
So it's really about the actual request anymore. It becomes a referendum on the relationship, your character or your loyalty. And importantly, this isn't always loud or dramatic.
For me once, shame on you. For me twice, shame on me. For me 3 times, and I'm not sure if the shame alternates or is it still me?
It gets a bit confusing, and that's what they're hoping for.
Oh, yeah, right.
So some victim flippers are subtle. Instead of accusations, they might withdraw, go quiet, or act wounded. There'll be like a sudden silence, and you can feel like a definite coldness and this passive comments like, it's fine, don't worry about me.
Good, I won't.
But the message is the same. You've caused harm, and now you're responsible for it. Yuck. And what makes this pattern so effective is that it targets empathy. If you care about the person, you're more likely to feel pulled to resolve the discomfort, even if that means overriding your own boundary.
Yeah, they're tricky dickies.
Yeah. But here's the part worth being clear about. Someone else having feelings about your no doesn't make your no wrong.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
That's right. Quite simple. So a healthy response to disappointment sounds like, I'm bummed, but I understand. A victim flipper doesn't stop there. They make their disappointment your responsibility to fix. So the response stays grounded. I hear that you're upset, but I'm still not able to do that. Or I understand this is disappointing, but my answer's still no.
Hey, read my lips. No fair crack of the whip. Really?
Yeah, absolutely. So you acknowledge, but you don't absorb, because the real issue isn't whether they feel hurt. It's whether your boundary is allowed to exist without being turned into an offence you have to make up for.
Good. Going to Costco. Anybody need a 50-kilo bag of sugar or a hot tub?
Hot tub will be great.
All right, then.
So then there's the guilt tripper. Doesn't usually fight your no head on. They make it feel wrong.
You're wrong, bing bong.
Instead of pushing or flipping into victimhood, they create a quiet emotional debt.
Oh boy, a quiet emotional debt. Nah, cannot like this one either. Jeez.
One that you're meant to feel compelled to repay. The pressure isn't loud. It sits in your chest as kind of like a discomfort, and you might hear, after everything I've done for you, or I guess I just thought you'd be there for me. It's fine. I'll manage, said in a way that clearly means the opposite.
Fair sack of the sav.
Yeah, or I wouldn't have said no to you. What they're doing is reframing your boundary as a failure of care, loyalty, or gratitude.
I don't understand why it isn't socially acceptable to choose to be nocturnal. The angry hot skyball is gone, my internet is fast, everyone's finally shut up. What's there not to like?
Yes, when you put it like that.
It's right, yeah.
So with a guilt tripper, the message is really, you should do this.
See, the word should just drips of obligation, does it not?
It does, Bob, yes. It's a good person would have said yes. And that's what makes it powerful. It targets your identity, not just your decision. You stop evaluating the request on its actual merits. Do I have time, energy? Do I want to? And start evaluating yourself. Am I being selfish? Am I letting her down? Do I owe her this?
Do you know that the summer of 2069 is closer to us than the summer of 1969?
It's not.
It is. Do the maths.
Oh, not right now. Jeez. So, Once it becomes about who you are as a person, it's much harder to hold the line. Another common move is keeping score.
Oh, the worst, keeping score.
Past favours, kindness or support get subtly brought into the present moment.
I helped you when you needed it.
Yes, exactly, something like that, or I've always been there for you. But notice, healthy relationships don't operate like a ledger. Support isn't supposed to be cashed in later as obligation. The guilt tripper turns generosity into leverage.
Can I vomit now? Just, like a little bit in my mouth?
Yeah, one for me too.
Yeah.
They also often rely on tone more than words. A sigh, a pause, a disappointed look, a shift in energy. Sometimes the guilt isn't spoken outright, is it? But it's strongly implied.
Hey, I just saw someone throw away the centre of a cinnamon roll. The centre of the cinnamon roll. Psychopath.
That should require immediate jail time.
That's what I thought, yeah.
You can feel that you've done something wrong, even if they haven't explicitly said it.
Yeah, that's true.
And like the victim flipper, this pattern feeds on empathy. If you care about the person, you're more likely to overwrite your own needs just to remove that uncomfortable feeling. But here's the key distinction. Feeling guilty doesn't necessarily mean you've done something wrong.
There's an applause.
Thank you. Absolutely right there. Hashtag 4 types of people who don't hear no.
The first time.
Right. It can simply mean someone is trying to attach a cost to your boundary.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. Dealing with a guilt tripper isn't about arguing the past or defending your character. It just pulls you deeper into the emotional accounting they've set up.
The existence of a gravy boat and a gravy train implies an entire gravy transportation system. Why isn't anyone talking about this?
Well, I think you just did.
Yeah.
So instead, you separate the two things they're trying to fuse together. Your care for them, your decision, but you can care and still say no.
How would that sound? Like, how would you say that?
Well, I do care about you and I'm still not going to be able to do that.
Oh, yeah, righto.
Or I appreciate what you've done for me, but my answer's still no.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I understand you're disappointed, but I'm not available for this.
All right, fair enough.
You're not denying the relationship, you're refusing to let it be used as pressure. Because the real issue with the guilt tripper isn't emotion itself, it's the idea that your boundaries should be overridden to relieve someone else's disappointment.
Oh, you know what? I like that. I like that a lot.
I wondered if you were going to do one of those.
Yeah, I like that. Good on you, yeah.
So then there's the pusher. It's the most obvious of the 4 and often the most socially accepted because it can be mistaken for determination or enthusiasm. But the defining trait is simple. They'll treat your no as negotiable, no matter how clearly you say it. And when others use emotion or subtlety, the pusher relies on repetition and persistence. They keep coming back at you, slightly changing the angle each time. Are you sure? Oh, come on, just this once. And what if we did it this way instead? Okay, but what about next week? On the surface, each individual ask might seem harmless. The pressure comes from the accumulation.
Yeah, right.
You're not saying no once. You're being asked to defend it over and over again.
Oh, geez, that's sneaky.
It is, isn't it? And that's the core tactic, wearing down resistance. A pusher often assumes that boundaries are flexible if they apply enough effort. In their mind, your first no might just mean, oh, you haven't thought it through, or you might need a bit more convincing, or
you're hesitating.
Yeah, you might need more encouragement, to do what they want you to do. Sometimes it escalates. If repetition doesn't work, they might increase intensity, becoming more insistent, like I really need this, and adding urgency. This is important, like I can't do this without you.
Oh, hell's bells.
So, they treat your reasons as variables to solve, not signals to stop.
Well, maybe try. No, I'm not available.
Yes, and I've already answered that question. No, that doesn't work for me. And that's got to be the end of the episode.
It does?
Yes, Bob. Thank you as always for joining us. If this resonated with you, I hope it was a clarity you could use or confirmation, a quiet suggestion to look out for yourself. Self-care, marble dwellers. So say good day to the family for me, give the butterfly a wink, and we'll see you next time, okay? Okay then, bye.
Bye!